Hey guys, what's up and welcome back to my channel, or welcome if you guys are new here. So for today's video, I want to do another makeup declutter marathon. You guys seem to really enjoy these back in October. I think they're so fun to watch a super long makeup declutter. So I decided to put all of my declutters in one long video. I'm going to save my eyeshadow palette collection and declutter for a separate video, but I want to put everything else I decluttered into one long video. So you guys have already previously seen these videos, but they're so much fun. I love watching these, so hopefully you guys do too. So with that said, guys, let's go ahead and dive into my makeup declutter marathon part 1. All right, guys, so we have a helper today. We have Koa over there that wants to help out, and then we have Kaya that wants to be part of it as well. So here we have my primers, my foundations, my concealers, and my setting powders, along with some eye bases that you guys see right here. This drawer used to look nice, and now she's beginning to look a little cluttered. So we're gonna actually set up the camera and I'm gonna pull things out, and I'm gonna kind of go hard on this collection because I generally don't use as much as I thought I was going to use. I made a goal to myself that if I didn't pick it up since my last declutter, then I think it's time that it needs to go. So I think that is what I'm going to hold true to today. So I'm going to go ahead and set the camera up, guys, and we're going to get this started. So here are my primers. I actually decluttered a lot of primers in my previous declutter, but I still feel like I have too much sitting here that I just generally don't use. So we're gonna try to be a little rough with this, and I generally just want to keep what I actually use. So starting off, we do have this Milk Makeup Pore Eclipsing Primer. This thing is like empty, and for some reason I still have it in my collection. So we're gonna go ahead and toss this. This is actually one of my favorite primers. If you have oily skin, this is going to be a godsend for you. So I'm going to declutter this one because I do have backups, but this is also empty. Next, I have the Ciate London. This is the Watermelon Burst Hydrating Primer. I actually just got this in PR. So I remember trying this before, but I don't really remember what my thoughts are on this. Is it even meant for oily skin? Instantly refreshes and moisturizes before makeup application. Featuring, so this is a unique aqua serum primer, grips foundation for long wear with an added glow. I'm not entirely sure I will get a lot of use out of this. I still feel like I should try it because it's been a long time. So I'm actually going to save this to give it a try, but hopefully I like it. Next up, I do have the e.l.f. This is the Power Grip Primer with Niacinamide. I actually generally really do like this primer. Even though it doesn't do as much for like oil and pores, the way it just grips onto the foundation makes it freaking fantastic. So I'm definitely gonna keep this. Okay, so up next we have the Murad. This is the Oil and Pore Control Mattifier. Listen, Murad sent this to me and I've tried it out. This is more of like a moisturizer and sunscreen than it is an actual like primer. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this because it does not work for priming. I still get oily because I don't know what it is. Whenever there's anything with SPF in it, my skin just does not like it. If it's like at the beach or I'm at the pool or I'm out in the sun and I just wear SPF, then my skin's fine with it. But I get super oily with anything SPF. So this having SPF 45, it just, oh my God, the way that I break out with my oil is just unreal. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. Up next, we do have the Milk Hydro Grip Primer. So this is generally not meant for oily skin. Now I've had this for a year now, and because I did go through my other one, and I feel like, is this the right color? Is this the right color? I hope it's the right color. I'm gonna have to look because I think I have a backup of this. If I do, I don't know, but I really do love this primer. I really do love this primer. Surprisingly, even though I have oily skin, this works really well on me. So I'm going to keep this. Up next, we have the One Size Secure, their Blur. I generally do like this primer. It's great if you have really oily skin. It doesn't necessarily stop the oil from coming through. I still get a little bit oily, but it just kind of keeps everything together. It makes my makeup last a lot longer. So we're going to definitely hold on to this. So I have the Kimchi Chic. This is the FN Primer Top. This is the FM Primer. Now, I really loved Kimchi Powder. The setting powder for this is truly phenomenal. They have a setting spray. I don't really think that the primer does much for me in terms of controlling oil, so we're going to go ahead and declutter this. I used to be so obsessed with the NYX Marshmallow Primer, but I generally don't use this anymore. It's a fantastic primer. It's so smoothing. It helps to make the skin look nice and smooth, but generally, I have not touched this in a while, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. I bought this for a challenge, for a review, and this is horrible on me. This literally makes your skin glow, and this is an oily skin nightmare, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. This is the ColourPop No Filter Primer. This is a nice primer, it generally is. I feel like if you pair this with the ColourPop foundation and concealer, this generally is a nice this generally is a nice little mix together. But if I'm not using the ColourPop foundation, I generally don't really grab for this. So unfortunately, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. Next, we did the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I really love this. I feel like the NYX Marshmallow Primer is very comparable to the Tatcha Silk Canvas. I really do like the Silk Canvas. It really makes my skin nice and smooth. And even though it's not the best for oily skin, there's something about pairing this with the Milk Hydro Grip that just makes me fall so in love with the combination. So we're gonna go ahead and keep this. This Revlon Matte Primer, surprisingly enough, it does so good. I'm so surprised by how much I actually liked this primer. I don't know. There's something about Revlon when it comes to their products for oily skin that they just get it. They just get it. So we're absolutely keeping this. I hated the one size primer the first time I ever tried this. It was horrible. Now, whenever I do like take this out, my product kind of seeps through and it's kind of gross looking, not gonna lie. It looks actually really nasty, but this does such a good job for oily skin. So we're definitely going to be holding on to this. Next, I do have my Tarte. So this is the Tarte Smoothing like Timeless Primer. Listen. This is shit for oily skin. However, I genuinely really enjoy this because this fills in my pores. So whenever I'm doing a no makeup look, like whenever I'm going out and I'm running errands and I just want my pores to be filled in because otherwise they look absolutely disgusting in real life. You can clearly see I have large pores. This fills them in like no tomorrow. And sometimes I'll just take a setting powder or powder foundation and put it right on top of this. And this just does a really great job at making my face look really even and smooth and really helps to hide those large pores. So I'm absolutely keeping this. You know, I got this in the beginning of last year. This is such a cool concept. It's like a jelly that you just like put on and like melts into the face, but I don't really use it anymore. Like I really like the consistency of it. It feels like water when you put on the face, but I just don't touch it enough to really justify keeping it because I haven't really used it in the last 6 months. So we're gonna go ahead and declutter this. And lastly, we do have the Winky Lux. This is the Jelly Bear Primer. This is okay. It's kind of like the NYX Bear With Me. It's just, I don't know, it's a hydrating primer, so it's not really good for my oily skin. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and declutter this, but it smells amazing. All right, so up next, we do have the Nakia Joy Cosmetics. This is the matte base primer. I do like this primer. It doesn't have as much of a longevity as I wanted to compared to its setting powder. The setting powder for this brand is my ultimate favorite setting powder. It is truly the best. And I just wanted the same thing for this matte base. It's still a really great matte base. It does have a little bit of a tint to it, so I'm definitely going to keep holding on to it. This is just more of one of those primers that I wear if I want to wear makeup for like 4 or 5 hours versus all day. See, I told you I have a backup with the Milk makeup, so holding on to that. This is my absolute favorite primer if you guys cannot tell, and I do have 2 backups. I bought one and then I was sent one, so we are definitely going to be finally unboxing one of these and putting it back in my collection because the other one has been empty for a hot minute. So I tried this one time. I feel like I should give this some more. I feel like I should give this another chance before I just toss this. This was gifted to me by Heather. Heather really likes this, and she has really oily skin like myself, and she said this is really good for helping her she said this was really good for making her makeup last all day. So we're gonna give this another chance. At first, I was not liking this because it just felt so greasy and oily and I just was not a fan, but my makeup actually ended up looking really, really good. So we're gonna give this another chance. What would I do without the ultimate base? This is the Glow Recipe Strawberry BHA Pore Smoothing Blur Drops. You guys know that I do not go a day without putting on this serum. This is the best serum I have ever worked with. I absolutely hated this at first, but I gave it another go and I fell so hard in love with this. So I am definitely keeping this, although this one is pretty much like empty. There's like nothing left, but I went ahead and I bought another one. So I'll declutter this one and I'll bring out my new one. So I got this little YSL primer in a little advent calendar, and I feel like I only tried it one time. So I'm going to give this some more chance. I'm going to give this another chance. If I don't like it, it will be decluttered in the next round of declutters, but I just recently tried this. So I feel like trying it one time is not enough for me just to declutter it. So I'll keep this for now. Okay guys, so before I move on to foundations, I will let you know that I will tell you guys the amount of primers and the amount of foundations and concealers and setting powders that I kept at the end of the video, and I'll show you guys everything that I decluttered and give you guys the overall number of what I kept versus what I decluttered. So now we're gonna go ahead and move on to foundations. Okay, so here are my foundations. Let's get started. So we're gonna start from the back and work our way forward. So up first, we do have the Merit. This is like a concealer and foundation into one. Surprisingly, I don't hate this. This is one of those foundations that you just want to wear if you're running to the store or you're running out to do quick errands, but you don't want to put on a full face of makeup, but you want to look like you're alive and not just like dead, aka me. So this is actually something I'm going to keep because this is a great stick just to quickly throw on the face, add just a little bit of life and color to the face, and making your face look like it has a nice healthy complexion with a nice little subtle glow with an even complexion, and I really do enjoy that, so I'm keeping this. Okay, so up next we do have the Smashbox Always On foundation. Y'all, there's something about this foundation I really love. For some reason, this just works amazing on my skin. I don't know if it's the base I have underneath, I don't know if it's the products I have on top, but this lasts me all day. I still get a little oily, but it looks more glowy. My foundation does not separate, it does not cake. This looks freaking fantastic, which is really shocking to me because every Smashbox product that I've ever tried, I absolutely hated. So I was really surprised at how much I genuinely really like this foundation. So I'm definitely keeping this. So I'm going to declutter this, not because I don't love it, but because there's literally nothing left. This is empty. I have been keeping an empty foundation in here to remind myself to go pick myself up a new one. I absolutely love this foundation. If you have oily skin, this is going to be for you. This has such amazing longevity. It's long lasting. It's full coverage. They have different shade range, and this has been my absolute go-to drugstore foundation for years. It's not my favorite drugstore foundation. There is another one that does top this, but this has been my go-to for years. This has survived my serving shifts at Disney for, I don't know, the last 7 to 8 years when I was serving. This has been my go-to foundation. I have been truly so obsessed with this. I just need to get a new one. So unfortunately, this one is being decluttered because it's pretty much empty, but we are going to buy another one in its place. This took me by surprise. This is so full coverage. A little bit of this goes a long way. This is very heavy on the skin. However, I did wear this all day, and god damn does it make your makeup last all day. Like, I did not get oily when I wore this, but this is one of those foundations I will not wear on a daily basis because it is so full coverage and so thick that I would wear this more on special occasions, but I'm definitely keeping this. This is an oily skin's best friend, so we got to keep this. This is a great foundation, but honestly, I just don't really ever use it. I never really go back into it. There's nothing wrong with it. I don't pick it up as much as I wanted to. So I think because I haven't really touched it in the last 6 months, I think it's time to go. I have the One Size Turn Up the Base BB Cream Blurring Balm. Honestly, I don't really use this as much as I thought I was going to. It doesn't really do much for oily skin, surprisingly, because like everything else is geared towards oily skin when it comes to this brand. But for some reason, there's something about this that just does not work for me. So we're going to let it go. The NYX Bare With Me Blurring Foundation. Surprisingly, this is actually pretty full coverage. It does a great job at lasting all day. And I actually really like this, so we're gonna keep this one. So I got this past year because I've been really getting into drugstore. This was actually a lot of fun. You put this on your hand and you rub it into your face. My only problem with this is that this shade is too deep for me. This made me look a little orange. So for me, I do have to declutter this one. However, if I go find a lighter version than this, I will absolutely get it again because this was a lot of fun to play with. It lasts all day. It was very beautiful on the skin, but this is just too deep for me. Somehow this has survived 2 declutters and it's still yet to have been opened. So I'm going to go ahead and just pass this along to somebody else. I think we'll get a better use out of this. I've never tried it. And at this point, it's been here for almost a year and it's never been opened. So it should still be good because it has never been opened. But at the same time, I've never used this and I really wanted to. But if I haven't tried it after a year sitting in here, I feel like I'm just not going to. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass this along to somebody else who I know will get a better use out of this than I will. Perfect foundation for the summer season. This is very full coverage. This is very full coverage. It's transfer and sweat proof, although you still get a little bit of transfer and you still sweat through it. But it really is good for oily skin. It's pretty expensive for what it is. I'm definitely going to keep holding on to this because I only wear this during the summer because it's a little too deep for me, but it's a beautiful foundation. The KVD Good Apple Serum Foundation. I actually really like this foundation. I was surprised at how much I really enjoyed this, so we're going to keep this one. Yes, I have oily skin. This works out really nicely for me, so we're absolutely keeping this. I sat on this for so long, and I don't know why I did. This is a very beautiful foundation. It's very full coverage. It's very long lasting, and I really enjoyed this foundation a lot, so we're going to be keeping this. This is such a beautiful foundation if you love lumosity to your face, if you love glowing skin. However, for me, I cannot wear this one by itself. I do have to mix it with another foundation because it is just so glowy. So because of that, I am going to go ahead and just declutter this just because I want to wear foundations by themselves. I don't want to have to sit here and mix and match. So we're going to go ahead and let this one go. Here we have the ColourPop Pretty Fresh Hyaluronic Hydrating Foundation. Another beautiful foundation. It pairs very beautifully with the primer and the setting powder that I was telling you guys about. But unfortunately, I don't really grab this one anymore. So we're going to go ahead and let this go. There's nothing wrong with this foundation. It's a really nice foundation. It's very full coverage. It's actually really drying. Like it makes my face kind of like hard and feel like I have cement on, but I just feel like this doesn't get a lot of love. I don't grab this one as much as I wanted to, so we're gonna go ahead and declutter this. I am surprised by how much I love this freaking foundation. This is such a good foundation. This is very long lasting. I do get oily, but it turns more glowy than anything else. It doesn't break, doesn't separate. It's a beautiful foundation. I'm keeping these. We have the NARS Soft Matte Foundation. I usually like to pair this with the NARS Light Reflecting Radiant Foundation. Such a gorgeous combo. Keeping. This is my absolute favorite foundation in the entire world. You guys can see it's gross looking. She is very, very, very well loved. This is an oily skin's best friend. This is my holy grail foundation. This lasts you all day. There is something about this foundation that I truly cannot get enough of. This has been my go-to for over a year now. I'm so happy I discovered this foundation. It's truly a godsend, and I'm absolutely keeping this. As you guys can see, I will definitely be having to get another one soon because we are getting pretty low. This will be the third time I've repurchased this foundation because of how much I absolutely love it. So if you have oily skin, this is going to be for you. But they also have a normal to dry skin version of this as well that I hear is just as fantastic for normal to dry skin as well. We have a Chanel foundation. This works really beautifully. It smells amazing. And surprisingly, if you have oily skin, this works really beautifully with the oily skin. So I'm definitely keeping. This is another holy grail for oily skin. This is the Estee Lauder Double Wear Stay in Place makeup. This will last you all day. This is great if you have oily skin and textured skin. This does not budge. It does not transfer. It does not lift. It does not let oil seep through. Definitely a must keep. Got this for a fun video challenge, but this does not work for my skin at all. It's very beautiful, but if you are oily, ooh, stay away from this. This is not meant for you. So we're decluttering. So Heather sent this to me. This is the Born to Glow Naturally Radiant Foundation. That's a beautiful foundation, but I am just generally not really a big fan of it. I tried it 2 more times after that video and I just really can't get into it. So we're gonna go ahead and declutter this. This is a must keep. This is great. Even though this is not meant for oily skin, oh my God, there's something about this foundation that I'm truly just so in love with. Absolutely keeping. Everybody was so obsessed with the Maybelline Superstay Skin Tint. Why? I don't know. It's not really meant for me, but I'm also not really a skin tint person. So I just feel like I'm going to go ahead and declutter this just because I never use it. So this is the same exact foundation that I just showed you guys, but this is the older version. They did reformulate. This is the older version. I really like this one, but I feel like I prefer the new one over this one. So I'm still going to keep it as a backup, but should I just declutter it and just get a new one? They don't even make these ones anymore, honestly. Like they stopped making these. They stopped making these, I think, since last October. So I feel like I should just buy myself. Shit, what should I do? I'll figure this one out. I recently just got this. I'm still trying this out, but so far I really do like it. It's definitely not meant for longevity for oily skin, but it looks really pretty for the first couple hours. I do get a little oily when wearing this, but I'm still testing this out, so we're going to keep this one for now. We have the Estee Lauder Double Wear Powder Foundation. I had the refill by accident, but this is freaking fantastic on the days that I just want to throw on a little bit of coverage on the face without having any oil seep through, so we're definitely keeping this. Now moving on to concealers. You know what's so funny is that so many people out there are obsessed with concealers, and concealers are like my least favorite makeup product besides brows. I don't know what it is, but I'm just like truly not obsessed with them the way other people are. So I feel like this is going to be quick and easy for me. So up first, we do have the Fenty Beauty. This is going to be the eye brightener right here. This is absolutely fantastic. I really do enjoy this concealer. I wish I had a different applicator because the applicator sucks, but I really love the coverage of this. So we are going to be keeping this one. We have the e.l.f. Hydrating Camo Concealer. This actually works really nicely. I really do love how my under eyes look whenever I wear this. So we're going to be keeping this. This by far is probably my favorite concealer as of right now. This does really good at hydrating the under eye. There's no cracking, there's no creasing with this. It doesn't sit in any nook and crannies underneath the eye. It just blends out very beautifully, so we're absolutely keeping this. I recently tried this. I haven't used it as much as I wanted to, so I'm still going to keep playing with this. So for now, it's being kept, but if I don't use it a lot by next summer, then we're going to be getting rid of it. Honestly, I really hate concealers that are like this. These are so annoying to work with. It's a nice concealer, but it's definitely not my favorite, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. We have the L'Oreal Age Perfect Radiant Concealer. I don't ever really touch this. I bought it for a video, tried it out, and I haven't really touched it since, so we're gonna go ahead and declutter this. We have the Born to Glow NYX Concealer. Again, I'm not really a big fan of these type of applicators. They're just not fun for me to work with. I didn't really care. Not really fun for me to work with. I know me personally, I'm not gonna really gravitate to this one as much as I do other ones. So we're gonna go ahead and let this one go. I have 3 Dominique concealers. I really do like Dominique Cosmetics. I like their concealers, but I don't know why I have 3. So I think I'm just gonna keep one and declutter the other 2. Next we do the Ofra Perfect Concealer. I really do like this concealer, so we're definitely gonna be holding onto this. It's very full coverage, it's very lightweight, it blends really nicely and lasts you all day, so I'm keeping this. I think I'm gonna let this one go. It's really pretty, but I just feel like I prefer the e.l.f. over the ColourPop ones, so we're gonna go ahead and declutter this. It's like 20 bucks for this damn concealer. It's nice, but it's definitely not my favorite. I prefer other concealers. Again, I'm not the biggest fan of this applicator. You kind of just have to put it underneath your eye and like blend it out, or put it on a sponge, or put it on a brush. I don't really use this one as much as I thought I was going to, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. Same thing with this Milk Makeup Futuristic Concealer. I know a lot of people out there hated this concealer. I did like it, but honestly, I just don't use it as much as I thought I was going to. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. I bought this for a full face of NYX, and I still have never done that video. At some point, guys, I promise that I will. So I'm going to hold on to it for that and give this another go because it hasn't even been opened yet. So as you can see, I really loved my ABH Good Apple Serum Concealer. This is such a beautiful concealer. It's pretty much dry at this point and almost empty because I used so much of it. So I'm going to go ahead and let this one go. I'm going to take a picture of this so I can remember what shade to get because I generally really do love this concealer. I thought it was beautiful. So I'm going to let this one go, but we are going to get a new one next year. Okay, so this drawer right here, this is all my eye bases. I'm keeping all these because like I'm not decluttering them. I do have a Glossier concealer and a NARS Soft Pot concealer as well. I'm keeping those. But I wanted to let you guys know that I am decluttering Gerard, Canvas, eye base. This just never really gets used. It doesn't really work for me, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. I'm also going to be decluttering the Ultra Ego eye base. There's nothing wrong with this. I just use my P. Louise far more than I use this. Same thing with the Jaclyn Cosmetics eye base right here. Again, there's nothing wrong with this eye base. It works really nicely, but I just prefer my P. Louise eye base right here. This is the only thing I wear for eye bases, so I'm just going to go ahead and keep this and just declutter the rest that I don't use. Okay, so moving on to setting powders. Now, this is where the magic happens in terms of making my face last all day. This is the magic that you guys see right here. So we're going to go ahead and dive straight on in. So I'm going to start off with this one right here. This is the Lunar Beauty. This is the Universal Translucent Setting Powder. This is absolutely fantastic. This blurs the skin, making your skin look so nice and smooth, but it really does help to lock in that makeup all day. Now, is this my holy grail? No, but it's right up there to one of my top 2 favorite setting powders, or more like top 3 favorite setting powders. If you have oily skin, this is going to be for you. This works really beautifully. And of course, if you wanted to, you guys could use code Allie, which will save you guys 10% off. I have been using this powder in secret for so long, so I did get to test it out to make sure it really does work for oily skin. And I really do love this, so we're absolutely keeping this. Up next, we do have the Revlon Candid Anti-Pollution Setting Powder. Honestly, I am not the biggest fan of this. I know Heather really liked this, but I prefer different Revlon setting powders. So unfortunately, this just isn't going to work for me, so we're going to go ahead and declutter this one. So this is my Dominique Cosmetics setting powder. You can tell that she is very well loved. Now, the reason why I'm going to keep this is I don't really use this for like setting powder the way you're supposed to. This setting powder in particular Oh my gosh, is it amazing for blending out eyeshadow? I am not the best blender out there. Believe me, I wish I was, but I am not. There's something about this setting powder that you just tap onto the shadow that really helps to diffuse it and blend it out beautifully. I really love the setting powder for this. I'm keeping it for that purpose. I don't use it for anything else. I do have a code with them. It's code Allie if you want to save 10% off on purchasing anything from Donnie Cosmetics, but I will say this is the best for blending out eyeshadow. It's why it's so dirty. Up next, we do have the Nakia Joy Cosmetics. This is the Velvet Finishing Powder. Y'all, this is my #1 setting powder for oily skin. If you have oily skin, this is your holy grail setting powder. I put this on my makeup and oh my gosh, is it literally lock in my makeup and last all day. I do not really get oily whenever I wear this. It is my true favorite. I have talked about this setting powder for years, so this should be no surprise. I'm keeping this. I do have a code. It's code Allie, which will save you guys 15% off when shopping at Nakia Joy Cosmetics. Let me tell you, this is a godsend. I'm truly obsessed with this, so we are absolutely keeping this. So I tried this setting powder. It's not bad, but it definitely leaves a big white cast on the face. It's supposed to be translucent, but let me tell y'all, it's not. It's not translucent. I look like Makeup Mary with this. I look really scary whenever I wear this setting powder. So we're going to go ahead and let this one go just because I really don't touch it as much as I want to. So we're going to let this one go. Up next, we do have the Givenchy. This is the little mini prism palette. I just recently got the setting powder. I'm still trying this out. So we're going to keep this one for now because it's still being tested. Unfortunately, this does have a little bit of glitter to it. And I was told that the one that I got, which is like the #2 Saint Blanc one, is the only one that has glitter to it. But there's something about this. It smells incredible. It does help make the makeup last a lot longer. So we're going to be holding on to this one. This was such a disappointment. I really wanted to love this setting powder from Milk Makeup, but this didn't do anything for my oily skin. I don't know why. This just did not work out for me. I was super disappointed because I absolutely live and breathe by the primer and by the setting spray, but this setting powder just couldn't cut it. It just could not cut it. So we're going to go ahead and declutter this. Up next, we do the Revlon. We have the matte setting powder right here. Surprisingly, this works really nice, but then I shouldn't be surprised because the primer and the setting powder because the primer and setting spray for this brand, again, works so beautifully. I really do love the setting powder. It's great for oily skin, so we're definitely gonna be keeping this. I feel like powders are my hardest thing to get rid of because I generally do love a good setting powder. Okay, so up next we do have the Nakia Joy Cosmetics. This is the brightening under eye powder, so it has a nice little like pink tint to it. I'm keeping this because I do like to have a little soft brightening underneath the eye. This is really good if you want to just have like a soft little brightening moment, a little blush moment. I don't use this all over the face because it is very brightening, but it's still really great setting powder. Same thing with the Lunar Beauty. This is their under eye brightening powder as well. It's a nice little pink one. So we're definitely holding on to this because again, I know how great this powder is. And sometimes it's nice to have a bright under eye. So testing this out, I just recently got this for my Sephora VIP haul and for like my birthday. So we're still gonna be testing out this powder. This is in the pound cake. I'm gonna definitely get a use out of these before I consider buying the full size. I really do like this, but I'm still testing it out. Oh, and now that we have another Nakia Joy Cosmetics, this is the pressed powder version. And again, I absolutely live and breathe for this powder. This is great for the days that I'm just putting on that Tarte Timeless Smoothing Primer where I fill in my pores. I go in with this right on top of it to press it in. And that's literally all I do. And it is a game changer for the days I just want to have no makeup on, but just look like I have a nice even base. I cannot live without this. We have the e.l.f. Halo Glow Setting Powder. I only use this a couple times. It's not meant for oily skin. So for me, I know I'm not gonna really dig back into this. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass this along. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. Same thing with the ColourPop. This is the No Filter Loose Setting Powder. This actually works really well with the primer and foundation. But if you use anything else with this, I find that it doesn't work as well. I feel like it only works well with their products and their products alone. So because I don't just stick to ColourPop, I feel like this won't really work best for me. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. We have the OPV London Setting Powder. I got this like in a BoxyCharm box. I don't really ever use this. I tried this out. It's not really for me. I'm not the biggest fan of this. So we're gonna go ahead and declutter this one. We have the Ofra Cosmetics. This is the mattifying primer. This is the mattifying setting powder. I really do love the setting powder. I think it works great for oily skin. Unfortunately, I don't pick this one up as much as I used to within the last couple months. So because I don't gravitate to this one over some other products, I'm gonna go ahead and let this one go. Y'all, there is something about this e.l.f. HD powder. Now, this is not meant for oily skin, but my God, does this look absolutely beautiful in the skin. It makes you look like you have an airbrushed foundation on. It actually lasts quite a bit, but I do mix it with other products, so that's probably why. But this looks absolutely beautiful in the skin. I don't know why I'm obsessed with this, but I cannot let this one go. Even though I don't use it as much as I want to, there's something about it that is just so freaking beautiful. I'm definitely keeping this. 2 more Dominique Cosmetics setting powder. It's because I'm on their PR list. They did send this to me. So we have a translucent and we have their Rosita. I actually haven't tried this, so I do want to try this out, but this is just a backup and I'm going to be keeping this, but I'm actually going to be moving this to a backup drawer because it's just taking up space. And I do have a special setting. I do have a special place in my drawer for backup makeup. So we're going to go ahead and move this one over there. Up next, we have my Kimchi. This is the Puff Puff Pass setting powder. I have talked to you guys about this setting powder for years. If you have oily skin, this is going to be amazing for you. I do have some product left. I don't have as much. It's very, very little that's left in there. So that's why I do have that backup. So this is probably going to last me just like another month or so, if that, because like I said, I do have just enough in there, but there's really not much left to it. Like there's not as much left because this gets so well loved, but this is a oily skin holy grail product. It is absolutely amazing. You will not really get oily when wearing this, and I pair this with the Nikki Joy Cosmetics Velvet Finishing Powder, and this is just so freaking good. We're gonna go ahead and move my backup to my backup section. Next, we do have the La Mer. This is a $110 powder. This is so heavy, but this is so worth it. Now, it's not the best for oily skin, but it does do a great job at trying to contain as much oil as possible, but it blurs the face and gives you a nice airbrush finish. I can't get enough of this, so we're keeping this. And it's also $110, so I'm not ready to part with this yet. I kept this in case I travel, but honestly, I don't really travel that much, so I'm gonna declutter this. Still great product for oily skin, so we're gonna hold on to this one. Okay, so this is how the drawer is looking like right now. I'm going to clean up this entire drawer. Then I'm going to come back. I'm going to reorganize everything. I'm going to show you guys what I kept, what I decluttered, give you guys the total number of each. And we're going to kind of go from there. So let me go ahead and clean this up and I'll be right on back. So this is what the drawer looked like before. And this is how it looks now. Definitely a lot more emptier. So let me go ahead and go over everything. Okay, so I had 20 primers starting out with. I actually decluttered 8 and I kept 12. So I kept more than what I wanted, but you guys know every 6 months I'll be going through here. So back here, I just put no rhyme or reason for this one, just because I'm kind of putting it more, I guess, based upon size. Like the heavier ones are gonna go in the back and we're gonna move our way forward. So I don't really have as much room on my primer side as much as I want, because I really realized how much I really like primer. So I had 20 in total, but I did declutter 8 and I kept 12. Okay, so here is my foundations. I actually had 26 foundations. I kept 15 and I decluttered 11. So almost half. I got rid of almost half, which I'm really, really, really excited about. So this one had a little bit more rhyme to reason to it. So I just kind of put like my drugstore in the very front. I kind of put my high end, but like stuff that you find at like, I don't know, Ulta and Sephora. I put my really expensive foundation back there because these are like, I think this is like 80, 55, somewhere in the 50 something range, even though some of these are the same way too. I just kind of put them there and then I just kind of put the rest back here. But I kept 15, decluttered 11, which I'm really, really excited about. There's so much more room to this. There's nothing behind there. Now there's nothing behind there. I just feel like it looks so much better. I can see things a lot more, and these are the foundations I'm gonna be using for the next 6 months. Obviously, if I get more foundations to try out because it's my job, then I'm going to, but we are going to be using these foundations. And now I can actually see a lot more, which I'm really, really excited about. Nothing changed for the eye base. The only thing I added over here is just the Dami Cosmetics setting powder. I added that over here because this goes along with, I guess, essentially my eye base, since I use it specifically for blending. Okay, so for concealers, I actually started off with 16 concealers. 16 concealers. I kept 7 and I decluttered 9. So I'm actually really happy with that. I decluttered more than I kept, which I'm really excited about. These are just 2 that I don't necessarily count, and this one I'm still testing out, but I kept 7, decluttered 9, and I'm very, very happy with that. And then lastly, we have our setting powders. So I had 21 setting powders. I kept 13 and I decluttered 8. Still a really decent declutter in my opinion. So even though I kept more than declutter, it's still more than half, which I'm really excited about. It looks so much better now. This is my more used drawer. These are items that have more like the pink stuff that I need to kind of, these are more of like my pinky setting powder, but these are the ones I'm going to be using the most right here, the most accessible, putting my top 3 right here. So overall, I'm actually very, very excited about how this looks. It looks so much better than what it did. And I just kind of put my 2 little mini ones right over there. These are like my more high-end ones right over there. And I'm really, really happy with how this looks. So overall, I feel like my drawer looks so much better, even though we definitely kept a little bit more this time than we did declutter. I'm still very happy with it because we still decluttered a lot of items from my collection. I pretty much got rid of half, and I just feel like this looks so much better. I'm so excited with how clean and organized this looks and doesn't feel so cluttered. So here's everything I'm decluttering. I'm actually very happy with how this turned out. It feels so good to get rid of items that I haven't used so I can make room for some new ones and to keep using the ones that I still have in my collection. So this is my declutter pile, and this is everything we have left. This is like my most jam-packed drawer because I literally have so much stuff, and now I kind of want to condense it down and get rid of things that I just no longer use, and obviously keep the things that I do. Maybe try to get everything down by like 50% is my goal. So this is how it looks right now. She is super, super messy, but we are hoping to make that look a lot better. So let me go ahead and set the camera up and let's get this started. Okay, so starting off, we have our bronzer category. She's a little messy. I really did not intend for her to get overstuffed the way that it is. It just kind of happened, which is so surprising because like I feel like bronzers are slowly starting to become something that I really do like. So we're going to be very thorough about this declutter. So let's go ahead and get this started. So up first we do the Milani bronzer. This is the Silky Light Silky Matte bronzer. I really, really, really do like this bronzer. I think it's super nice. It's very light and airbrush feeling on the skin. So I'm gonna put this in the maybe pile because I don't reach for this one as often as I want to, because I do kind of go for more of my higher end ones, but this is a great drugstore one. So I'm just gonna put this off to the side for now. MAC Give Me Sun bronzer. This is the oldest makeup product I have in my collection at this point. I've had it since I want to say 2017, 2018. It has survived every single declutter because I just cannot seem to part with it. I don't even use it anymore. That's the best part. I don't even use it anymore. But I think I'm going to go ahead and not declutter this, but you guys always tell me to do like a shadow box. I actually do have a little shadow box of makeup memory stuff. So I think officially this is going to be moved to the makeup shadow box. That's where I put my donut palettes from last declutter you guys told me to put. So I put those in there. So I think it's time that this one goes in there as well. So she's officially leaving my collection, but she's going into a shadow box. Okay, so next we have the Soul Body Bronzer. This is from ColourPop. And oh my gosh, I forgot how much this smells. Oh, I just got my nail in it. Damn it. Look at that. Now it looks like I have doo-doo on my fingers. I forgot how much this smells incredible. It smells like a tourist. Working at Disney for almost 12 years, like tourists just have like a nice like little coconut scent, pineapple scent, mango scent. They just smell like sunblock essentially. And this is the vibe that I get from it. It smells so good. I forgot how beautiful this bronzer really is on the skin. So we're going to definitely hold on to this. Next, we do have the NARS Laguna bronzer. This is again another amazing bronzer. I love how this smells. I think I need to show this some more love. So I'm going to keep playing with this one. If I don't use it enough by the summer, then we're going to declutter this. My amazing friend Ashley gave me this Gucci bronzer. I can only really wear this during the summer though because it is a little bit deep for my skin complexion during the winter. It's a beautiful, beautiful bronzer. It's like a $60 bronzer. It's so expensive, but we're actually absolutely going to keep this one. Next, we do have the L'Oreal Infallible bronzer. This is a great bronzer, but I think I prefer my Milani one over the Infallible bronzer right here. So I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. Next, we have the Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is the baked bronzer right here. I absolutely do love this bronzer. It smells like toffee nut. And honestly, guys, if I am making my assumptions correct, I think she's shutting down her brand. And the only reason why I say that is because if you actually go onto Ulta's website, a lot of her products are slowly disappearing. And on Jaclyn Cosmetics website, everything's 50% off. So I think her brand is closing. So I definitely want to hold on to this because it's still a really great bronzer. But I do have to go through like my actual like everyday drawer because I have so many Jaclyn bronzers there that I don't use that I think those ones should be decluttered. But we're gonna at least keep this one because this one actually legit is a great bronzer. So here we have a Charlotte Tilbury. This is like a little palette that I got during my Sephora Rouge sale, and I thought this would be so much fun to try out. It's a contour / highlight moment, and this to me is just a little bit too light for my skin. It's supposed to be for sculpting and highlighting, but I just feel like this does nothing on my face. I've tried this out several times now. I can't get any pigment off of this, so we're gonna go ahead and declutter this. This is my most loved bronzer. This is from Marc Jacobs, which I don't even think, I know they're coming back with beauty, but I don't know when they're actually gonna come back with like all their products, but this is their Omega bronzer, and I have the shade 104 Tantastic. This is my absolute favorite bronzer in the entire world, and I really hope they bring it back. We're not decluttering this. I know I hit pan, but I'm gonna make it so this has nothing left in it. I'm gonna use this until there's nothing left because I just am so obsessed with it. Truly is one of the best bronzers I've ever played with. Got this from TJ Maxx. This is a backup of the 104 Tantastic. This is why I love TJ Maxx because like literally they were putting these on sale and I grabbed it because it really is, like I said, one of my favorite bronzers. Next, we have the LYS bronzing stick right here. I hated this when I first tried it, but it's slowly become my favorite cream bronzer of all time. It is so creamy. It glides on the skin. A little bit does go a long way, but oh my gosh, this is absolutely the best the best cream bronzer I have ever played with. We are absolutely keeping this. It's so dirty and messy, and honestly, I can't get enough. So I only played with this one time. This was actually gifted to me from my good friend Heather, and we did like a little makeup swap together, and she gifted this to me, and I only got to try it once, and I did like the formula of this, so I'm gonna keep playing with this, see how I feel about it in 6 months, but so far it was great. So far I really liked it based on first impression, but I haven't played with it enough to like just declutter, so we're gonna hold on to this. More of me showing off my collection at this point than actually decluttering anything. Okay, so up next I do have the Physician formula. This is the Butter Glow. This is a liquid bronzer. This is great. This was a beautiful product. I absolutely loved it a lot, but unfortunately I really don't use this as much as I thought I was going to. It blends out effortlessly, it gives you a beautiful glow, but I just feel like I don't use this enough to keep this, so we're gonna go ahead and declutter this. Smells amazing, by the way. Next, I do have my Rare Beauty bronzing stick. This is another amazing bronzing stick from Rare Beauty. I really don't have much left, so as soon as this is gone, I will declutter. I do want to finish this out. I do have one more backup, so that's in a different drawer, but I really love this bronzing stick, so we're gonna gonna hold on to this. It's almost empty. This is 40 bucks. So this is the contour stick from Charlotte Tilbury. Again, this is another amazing product. I love the way this blends onto the skin. I feel like you pay for more than what you get personally, but I'm gonna hold on to this until it's gone. Will I repurchase this? Probably not, because I actually do like other bronzers more than this one, but it's still really beautiful nonetheless. I have my Makeup by Mario. This is the bronzer stick right here. It's cute. It's pretty. I do like it. It's really, really easy to work with, but I just feel like I really don't grab this one as much as I used to. I kind of prefer my Rare Beauty and other products over this one, so we're actually going to go ahead and declutter my Makeup by Mario one. I really do like the e.l.f. Putty Bronzer. I think it's really pretty, but since I already have two putty bronzers between the Soul from ColourPop and the NARS, I'm going to put this in the maybe pile because I don't know if I need 3 putty bronzers. So this is going to go in the maybe pile. When I first start playing with this essence right here, I fell in love with this. This is a beautiful, beautiful contour stick. I know I already have 2. Yeah, it blends out so nicely though. It's such a nice contour stick from Essence. We'll put this in the maybe pile. Okay, so lastly, we have all these Milk makeup products. Now, I randomly get sent Milk makeup periodically. I don't know when it's coming in. It just randomly comes in, and when it does, I get super excited because I really do love Milk makeup. But they send over their contour and bronzer sticks, and I feel like I have some duplicates. So let me go ahead and look through these. So I know these just came in. These are their, well, 2 of these are actually your highlighters. Like, these are 2 new highlighters that are just in there. So in the wrong drawer. This is another highlighter. But I do have 2 of their bronzer sticks right here. And then I have another one called Toasted. This is more of like their contour stick right here. And then I do have, let's see, I have Toasted, Stoked, and I have, look how dirty this one is. This is their Days. Look at the bronzer. This is so freaking dirty because I really do like their bronzer stick, their contour stick, but like the only problem is like when you take this off, look, you see that it like takes off half the product with it. So this is pretty much empty because the rest of it's right here. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and toss this one because this one has gotten a lot of love, but I hate having to dig through here to get the product because this just comes off so quickly because of how creamy it is. It's a great product. It really is a great product. But since I have a backup right here, we'll go ahead and keep this one. I will declutter this one. And then I have 2 of the same contour sticks. See, like, look, one's cracked right here because I'm telling you, these break off super easily. So I think this one is not even open. So I'll put this into like a backup pile and keep this one for myself. And then I think I'm gonna go ahead and pass along the Bake to somebody, and I think I will go ahead and pass the Toasted to somebody and keep the Dazed. Okay, so moving on to blushes. Let's get the blushes started. So I don't even know where to necessarily begin, but I guess we gotta start somewhere. So I just got this in a ColourPop mystery box. This is a cheek dew, and this is a little bit too deep for my skin complexion. So I'm actually just going to go ahead and pass this along to somebody else. I only swatched it once on my hand and once on my cheek. And since the applicator is like a dropper applicator, I know that this isn't going to like contaminate anybody because it's not like it's a roll-on stick. It just looks like so. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this along to somebody else. I know one of my friends can get like a good use out of this versus myself. So I'm going to go ahead and I guess pass this along and aka declutter. I have a very pretty blush from ColourPop. This came in a mystery box, but I know myself, as pretty as this is, I'm not going to use this as much as I know I will use other blushes. To me, this is a putty blush, and I just feel like you have to apply this with like your finger or like a wet sponge and not necessarily a dry blush. And I'm still not the biggest fan of liquid blushes. Like, I'm trying to get there, but it's just taking me like a work in progress. So even though this is a really, really, really pretty color, it just feels like putty. And I just feel like realistically, I won't use this as much. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass this along. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. Up next, I got this NYX. This is a Sweet Cheek blush. This is actually a really, really pretty blush. I got this when Heather and I switched, did like a collab recently, and I was really surprised at how pretty this blush is. It looks like it's gonna be pretty deep, but it's actually like a really, really pretty, like soft, it's actually a really pretty soft, like rose blush. I'm going to put this in the maybe pile though, because realistically I need to think to myself how often I'm going to use this compared to other ones. So this is going to go in the maybe pile. Now at the end of the video, you guys will see how many bronzers I kept versus Declutter, same thing with blush and highlighters. So like even if like it ends up in the maybe pile, doesn't mean it's being kept. It's just in the maybe pile for now. Okay, so up next, I got this little nude stick. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. I got this in an advent calendar, and it's cute, it's pretty, but like realistically, I won't really use a product like this. So this is gonna go ahead and be decluttered. This is a very beautiful blush from Charlotte Tilbury. This like dries down rather quickly, but I do love the color of this. So we're gonna go ahead and keep this one. I got this recently in a PR unboxing, and while I was actually really impressed with how pretty this is, realistically, I know I'm not gonna go for this one as much. And this is like a blush, cheek, lip moment, and I'm not really the biggest fan of these, so we're gonna go ahead and declutter this one. I got these 3 little mini blushes right here that I got from a box that Betty Jean gave me, as well as me buying it from the Sephora sale. There is one shade that I really like. It's called Hope right here. But I believe that Betty gave me the full size of these ones. So I'm actually gonna go ahead and declutter these ones. I absolutely love this color right here. I'm gonna pass these on more to my friends because I think they'll get a good use out of it. But they are really beautiful. I don't need the minis if I'm gonna have the full size. So I'm gonna go ahead and pass these along. I really liked this cheek moment from Merit Beauty. This is such a beautiful cheek moment. This is such a beautiful product. It applies beautifully with your brush. So I'm gonna go ahead and keep this because it's a gorgeous, like perfect color blush for me. We have the Jean-Luc Cosmetics. We have these liquid blushes right here. These are absolutely beautiful. I did pass along other ones to my friends previously, but these are the colors I have left. I don't want to put these in the maybe pile because I don't know realistically how often I will use these, because like I said, I don't do cream blushes as much. So the ones I do keep are the ones I really want. So I'm gonna put these in maybe pile for now. I have a Jaclyn Cosmetics. This is a liquid blush in the shade Plush Pink. This is how that blush looks. I'm curious to see. Pretty. Let's put this in a maybe. All right, moving on to Odin's Eye. Now, I have had these for quite some time, and I really do like them, but I think I need to kind of narrow down the ones I actually want. So let's go ahead and start these off, because before I was never willing to part with them, but now I'm okay to part with them. So up first, we do have this little orange blush. I think I'm going to keep the orange blush because I really don't have that many orange blushes in my collection, and I love a good orange blush during the summer. So I'm going to hold on to this one. I have this little light pinky called Sunset Clouds. Realistically, I'm not going to really use this, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. No! One of them just broke. I just opened this and this is broken. So here is another orange blush moment, but since this one is breaking and I just kept an orange blush, I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. Sadly, was not expecting this to break when I opened it. So this is the shade called Warm Sun, and sadly, it's being decluttered. I really do like this orange blush right here. This is more like a blusher because it does have a little bit of like a shimmer to it. So we're going to go ahead and keep this one because it pairs very beautifully with that orange blush. We have this beautiful pink version of this. This is the shade called Rosita Love, but honestly, I don't really use this one anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. And this is another like orange blush called Peach Gleam. Again, I'm going to hold on to this only because I really don't have any orange blushes in my collection compared to how many pink ones I do. So I'll keep the 3 orange ones and declutter the 3 pink-ish ones. So up next, we do have Mora Cosmetics, and these are their beautiful, like beautifully designed blushes. I absolutely am obsessed with these blushes in terms of how they look because they're so freaking pretty. I'm not willing to part with them yet. At some point, I will part with them. I'm just not going to do it right now, but here is shade number 1. So I'm just going to kind of show you these because they are so pretty. So we have shade 1, shade number 2, we have shade number 3, gorgeous shade number 4. This is my favorite one of them all. This is shade number 5. Can we talk about how gorgeous shade number 5 is? I mean, God, it is beautiful. We have shade number 6, shade number 7, and we have shade number 8. Up next, we do have these 2 little blush palettes from Ofra. I actually really love these 2 blushes. So here we have the shade called Sunset Dreams. Yeah, Sunset Dreams. This is so gorgeous. You have a cream blush, a highlighter, and a powder blush. And then we have Cotton Candy Skies. This is like so dirty because I actually generally really do love this little palette right here. And as always, you guys can use code Allie, which will save you guys 20% off at Ofra. But I'm obsessed with these two little palettes from Ofra, so we're definitely gonna be holding on to these. Just got this in from Glamlight. This is their brand new Garfield palette. This has 2 blushes and a highlighter. Since I just got this in, we're still gonna keep playing with it, especially because I'm obsessed with the orange blush. This to me is so pretty. So we're gonna hold on to this, and look at how cute this is. It's so adorable. All right, next we have this Blends palette from Blend Bunny Cosmetics. If you guys don't know, I do have a code with them. You guys can use code Allie, which will save you guys 10% off with Blend Bunny. I really do love the Juicy Cheek palette. This is so fun, and you can actually take these shades and mix it with the lip oils to enhance your lip oil look. So we're definitely gonna be keeping that Juicy Cheek palette because this is so pretty. Next we have Bare Cheeks palettes from Blend Bunny. This is more of like the neutral soft palettes, but for me personally, I don't really use this one as much as I want to. So I think I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. They're just not really my colors compared to other blushes that I have. While they're really gorgeous, the formula is really great. I just know realistically, I'm not going to use this palette as much as I would use other ones. So I'm actually going to declutter this one. And I just recently got this in. This is the Patrick Ta Major Dimension Holiday Palette. We are definitely keeping this one. Okay, so moving on to the next rounds of blush. So up first, we do have this little putty blush from e.l.f. This is, I think, the shade called, well, it doesn't have shade name on here. But honestly, I don't really use this one. I don't really use this one anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. This little Dior Rosy Glow Face Palette, I freaking love it. It was $40 for this little itty bitty thing. So yes, we're keeping this because I still use it all the time because it's gorgeous, gorgeous blush. This was my favorite little individual blush from Ofra. This is in the shade called All Yours. It's really beautiful. It's definitely up my alley, but since I'm keeping the other 2 Ofra ones that have cream blushes in it and I like mixing those 2 together more, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. We have this little blush from Benefit. This is in the shade called Willa. These smell absolutely incredible, but I don't use this as much, so we're gonna go ahead and declutter. I mean, seriously, these smell absolutely incredible. They smell like nice perfume, but again, I don't use this blush from Benefit, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. I absolutely loved this blush from Benefit. It's a beautiful orange blush, but it does have a little bit of glitter to it, like you guys can see right here, and I don't really like blushes that have too much of a glitter in it, even though I did keep 2 from Odin's, but for me personally, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this, but it still smells amazing. I'm gonna let it go. This is my favorite blush in the entire world. This is from Patrick Ta. It's in the shade called She's Passionate. They don't even make this blush anymore, so I am definitely going to keep this one until it's gone, but this is my absolute most favorite blush. I have this blush from House Labs. I only used it a few times. It's in the shade called Dragon Fruit Days, but honestly, I barely touch this. It's super pigmented, like truly super pigmented, but I just don't need this many bright pink blushes, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. This was my favorite blush from ColourPop. It's in the shade called Desert Rose, and this is almost like an exact dupe of the Patrick Ta one, but again, they no longer make this blush, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and let this one go. Finally, I have these 2 blushes from Pat McGrath. While these are absolutely really pretty, realistically, I don't use these ones as much as I want to. And the pigment is just barely there. I mean, like barely there. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this along to a better home because it's still in great condition. Again, another beautiful blush from Pat McGrath. But again, the pigment is just so light and I don't use these ones nearly as much as I want to. So I'm going to go ahead and pass these to a good home. I have a little Strawberry Shortcake blush from Glamlight. Honestly, I really don't use this. It's a very bright pink. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. I really enjoyed this blush from Essence, but again, I just barely touch this. It's really pretty, definitely my style because it's more of like a peachy coral blush, but again, I just don't really use this one as often, so we're gonna go ahead and declutter this one. I have the Glamlight X Chucky blush. I have 2 of the shame because they did just recently release it. Now there's 2 different colors. I'm going to go ahead and keep this one because for me, this is more of like a collector's item than anything else. So we're going to keep this one. I really do like this little 3D clapper moment from One Size Beauty. It's in the shade called Attention Seeker. This was viral all over TikTok last year. Definitely keeping. This is a Patrick Ta blush. It's in the shade called She's Adorable. This is just a little bit too tan for me. It's really pretty, but like, It kind of blends into my skin tone. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this along to a better home. I know somebody out there, I know somebody in my life that can get a really good use out of this. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this along. I do have a backup shade to She's Passionate. This was gifted to me by Ashley. Ashley actually gifted me the other Patrick Tall and the 2 Pat McGrath ones. But I'm going to keep this one because this is my backup. And this is pretty much the last one they have out there. So we're definitely keeping. So I have these little blushes from Jaclyn Cosmetics. Honestly, I'm probably going to declutter this one. This is in the shade called Pink Pop. I really don't use it, and this was actually gifted to me from Jaclyn Roxanne and like Be Cozy before they went under. I never really got anything in PR from Jaclyn Cosmetics, but they did give me these items, which I thought was really, really sweet. I got it this past summer, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass this one to a better home, but it's a pretty color. I just don't really use it. Now Peach Pop is definitely more my color. Very, very pretty. I like the more peachy blushes, so I'm actually going to hold onto this one from Jaclyn Cosmetics. We have a little lavender blush moment from Jaclyn Cosmetics. I'm going to go ahead and pass this on to a better home because honestly, I'm not going to really use this. It's a little shade. It's like a purple blush. I don't really use purple blushes, so I'm not going to pass these along. Beautiful blush moment from Glamlight. This is the Nightmare on Elm Street blush. Keeping this. We have the little Ghost Face blush. While it's definitely too deep for me, this is definitely more of like a little bit of a collector's item. Okay, so that is it for blushes. Now let's move on to highlighters. It's just so surprising to me that I have more highlighters than I think anything else. It's the oddest thing, but we're gonna go ahead and get started on the declutter. So up first, I do have these little, oh, these are actually blushes. These are blushes from ColourPop. This is part of their like 11/11 collection. These are really pretty blushes, but honestly, I'm not going to use these. I just know myself. They're too light in pigment. I remember saying that in the review when I tried these out, that these were just too light in pigment for me personally. So I'm going to go ahead and just declutter all 3 of these blushes because I just know I'm not going to use them. I do have the Glamlight. This is the Friday the 13th. This is a highlighter. Gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous highlighter. Anything pretty much from Glamlight I'm going to keep because I like to keep the collector item stuff. Mine is like a strawberry shortcake because like, I don't know, these ones are more special to me, I guess. We have the little Glamlight ghost face moment, definitely keeping. I just got into this highlighter from Rare Beauty. This is such a gorgeous, gorgeous highlighter. I have the shade called Exhilarate. Hopefully I don't drop this because you guys tell me that if you drop this, it breaks really easily, but I'm definitely keeping this. It's gorgeous, and so hopefully it doesn't break. I'm gonna go ahead and move this Hank and Henry highlighter to my shadow box because this was gifted to me by one of my closest friends, Mikey. He gave this to me for my birthday, like back in like 2019, 2020, and I kept it just because it has a nice little memory for me when it comes to Mikey. So we're going to go ahead and put this into a shadow box. I had the Blend Bunny Cosmetics Noctilucent highlighter palette. This is such a gorgeous, gorgeous highlighter palette. And these highlighters, my gosh, they are so intense, so beautiful. Definitely keeping. Okay, so this box is absolutely disgusting because she has survived like a move, she survived so much. But this is the Jeffree Star Cosmetics. This is this shade called Sour Ice. Now this is one of the Extreme Frost, and I'm gonna tell you guys right now, this was $50 for this highlighter, and this right here, this is going to last you a lifetime. It's the reason why I haven't gotten rid of it because look at how gorgeous this is. While I don't support Jeffree and I don't support the brand, literally I bought this years ago and I don't want my money to go to waste essentially. These were so expensive. I still use them for like inner corner moments and brow bone moments and even sometimes elevating a look if I want to have like a nice little highlight in the center. So we're keeping the Extreme Frost because literally these are really good and they speak for themselves. We have the shade called Gag Me right here, and the shade called Choking on Ice. Up next we have What's Up Beauty Serengeti highlighter. This is just way too gorgeous to get rid of. I really did have a lot of fun playing with this. So we're going to keep this one. This is my favorite highlighter from Dior. This is Dior. This is the Universal Glow Face Palette. Definitely well worth it. It was out of stock for so long. We are absolutely keeping. Definitely keeping this iconic Rodeo Drive highlighter from Ofra. Same thing with the Ofra The Hills highlighter. Very beautiful. And of course, we have the Cookies and Cream highlighter from them. I absolutely love this one. So we're going to keep this one. We have the shade called Sugar Cookie. I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. This was part of my collab with Ofra. This is in the shade called All of the Lights. We are definitely keeping this one. We have another collab. This is in the shade called Glazed Donut. I really love this one, so we're going to be keeping this one. This really beautiful purple highlight, but honestly I don't really use this one, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. Be the shade called Moon Dance. It looks very similar to the other shades I have, so we're gonna go ahead and declutter this one. We have the shade right here called Mother Earth, and this gives you like a nice little like shift between like pink to green. Very, very, very beautiful, but honestly, I don't really use this one as much. So we're gonna go ahead and declutter this one. Look at me getting rid of Oprah stuff. I never thought that would happen because I love the brand so much. So up next, we do have the shade called Covent Garden. This is a beautiful like rose gold moment. But again, I don't ever use this highlighter. It's a little bit too deep for me. So we're gonna go ahead and declutter this one. Next, we have the shade called Dream Chaser. This is another beautiful, beautiful highlight. But again, I just don't really use this one as much as other Oprah ones. So we're gonna go ahead and declutter. Next, I have Star Island. This is another beautiful highlight shade, but since this particular shade is a part of all your lights, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. Next, we have the shade called Space Baby. This is like another iridescent. It's just between like white to blue. It's very, very beautiful. It's like an icy blue highlighter moment, but I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. And lastly, we have Pumpkin Pie. This is a beautiful, beautiful orange highlighter, but honestly, I'm never going to really wear an orange highlighter, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. I am very, very, very proud of myself. All right, up next, we do have the Benefit Cookie Highlighter. This is one of the best highlighters that Benefit has ever rolled out with. I'm absolutely obsessed with this highlighter. Super freaking pretty. We are definitely keeping this. Up next, we do have the Fantasia highlighter from One Size Beauty. It's not really a good highlighter, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this into a makeup drawer, like a shadow box, because my friend Mikey got this for me as like a little gift because he knows how much I love Disney. Even though this is not the best highlighter, we're gonna go ahead and put this in a makeup drawer. We're gonna put this in my shadow box. I'm so sad to say that one of my favorite highlighters from ColourPop, this is the shade called Flexterian. I went to go use it the other day and it completely cracked and broke in half and fell on the floor, and I scraped up what I could and tried to smash it back down. But surprisingly enough, she's not really surviving. She just keeps cracking. I don't know what's going on here. I think this might be my older one because I do have a newer one right back here. So I think because my old one it's old, y'all. It's probably like 5 years old, not gonna lie. It still works really beautifully and still soft, which is really nice, but it is starting to crack. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one because I do have newer one right here. And again, this is the shade called Flexterian, and this is my favorite highlighter from ColourPop. It is so like wet and juicy, so freaking good. We have the Skin Lights from Revlon. This is a really pretty highlighter. It is, ooh, I almost dropped this, but honestly, I don't really use this one as much. So we are gonna go ahead and declutter this. I feel like I'm being harsher on my declutters when it comes to my highlighter versus my bronzer and blushes. Like those ones are a little bit, I struggle a little bit more with than my highlighters. I'm like, bye, see ya. We have the Fenty Beauty Diamond Balm right here. This is a beautiful highlight. I am definitely gonna be keeping this one. She's so old. This is the ABH Amarizi highlight. This is so freaking pretty, but honestly, damn, it still works really nicely. I was gonna put this in my shadow box, but do we see how gorgeous that is? I'm keeping it. I'm keeping it out still. We have the Michaela highlight with Glamlight. This is a beautiful, beautiful highlighter. Definitely keeping. We have this unique highlighter from Glamlight. This is their Frosted Flakes. This is their only time they've ever created a loose highlight. This is so freaking pretty. I'm absolutely keeping this. Glamlight X Hershey Kisses. I think this is a really pretty highlighter. Definitely keeping. Probably my favorite highlighter that Glamlight has ever rolled out with. This is their Milk Chocolate one. This is so freaking pretty and it's so pigmented. I'm absolutely keeping this one. The Jaclyn Cosmetics, this is the shade called Brighten Up. It's a luminous powder. I only use this on the days that I'm doing a makeup, no makeup look because this just gives me like a nice subtle glow on the cheek without actually looking like a nice highlighter. So we're gonna definitely keep this one. I absolutely do love Odin's Eye and I think these are so freaking pretty. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this because I just don't really use their highlighters as much as I want to. They're really pretty, but since I am keeping like the Jeffree Star Cosmetics and the Blend Bunny Cosmetics, which does do unique highlighters like this, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. Same thing with this one right here. Pretty again, but just realistically, I don't use these ones. We have another one from Odin's. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter. Beautiful one from Odin's. I think I'll keep this one because I really do like the way that shift is. Very sparkly, and I like a really sparkly highlight. So I think I'll hold on to this one. That one's very similar to the last one I just kept, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. And we have a pink one. I'm gonna declutter. Beautiful face palette from Ofra Cosmetics, but these shades are just a little bit too deep for me, so I'm gonna go ahead and pass this one on to a better home. I absolutely love these two highlighters from Arte Cosmetica. These are their holographic highlighters. I mean, the shift on these are just so incredible. I especially love this one right here. So beautiful. So we're definitely keeping both. Next, we have the Butter Glow from Physician Formula. This is a really beautiful liquid highlighter, but honestly, I just don't use this one as much as I should. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. Since I just got gifted these in PR, these are the brand, these are two new highlighter shades from Milk Makeup called Lit and Turnt. I'm going to go ahead and keep trying these out before I declutter them. So we're going to go ahead and put them in the keep pile. This is the shade called Ray Rider. Absolutely beautiful. We are keeping this one. This is the shade called Moon Cruiser from Kaleidos, but honestly, I have a shade just like this, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. We have this beautiful like pinky highlighter. We have this beautiful pinky highlighter right here from Kaleidos. It's really pretty, but I know realistically I'm not going to use this one as much, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter the Star Surfer. Definitely not really a highlighter shade from me. So this is the shade called Mars Melter from Kaleidos. I'm going to declutter this one. While this is a really pretty highlighter shade called Space Age Gifted, it's just a little bit too unique, and I know I'm not going to use this one as much, so we're going to go ahead and declutter this one. This is a shade called Skywalker. It's really pretty, but realistically, I just kept some blue highlighters like this, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. But I do love a good highlight moment like this, a moment that's like between like a rose gold, a moment between like a green, orange, yellow, white highlighter is always like my favorite. I think those are so freaking pretty. So this is the shade called Space Age Prophecy. We are definitely keeping this one. And then lastly, we have like this yellow golden moment from Kaleidos. This is called Solar Sailor, and I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. We have the Michaela Part 2 highlighter palette with Glam Light. This is such a beautiful highlighter palette, keeping this. Scooby-Doo highlighter with Glam Light. Again, very, very, very beautiful. This is the first time I've ever done like a 3D lenticular motion product, so we're definitely keeping this. Lunar Beauty. This is the only Lunar Beauty highlighter that I have left, and it's not even like a shade that would fit me. It's a deep shade called Jupiter. This won't even work for me, but I'm gonna go ahead and put this into a shadow box because even though he no longer makes these anymore, I still want to keep this. So this will go into a shadow box. Charlotte Tilbury. This is a Pillow Talk highlighter palette. I'm gonna keep. ColourPop Hocus Pocus 2 highlighter. It's pretty, but it's kind of dry now, and I don't ever really use this, so we're going to go ahead and declutter this. We have the Florasis Beauty. This is such a gorgeous like highlighter, blush, and bronzer moment. We're absolutely keeping. We have the Rick and Morty Trio with Glam Light. This is so pretty. We are absolutely keeping. We have the Resurgent highlighter palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is a collab with Heather Austin. I'm keeping this. And we have this Low Light palette from Unearthly Cosmetics. This is really pretty, but I honestly don't really use this, so I'm going to go ahead and pass this along to a better home. I have this little Pixie blusher from Heather. She gave this to me, said how much she loves this, but realistically, I'm not going to really use something like this. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter. I did not like these little liquid highlighters from Rare Beauty, so I'm decluttering. We have these two little liquid highlighters from Jaclyn Cosmetics. These are absolutely beautiful. I'm keeping. We have a Monroe liquid highlighter from Ofra, but mine is actually kind of starting to dry up just a tad. Because I have used a lot of it, but mine is getting pretty dry in here. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this one. It's absolutely gorgeous, but it's just getting pretty dry. It's not really getting as much love as it should. But I did use a lot of it though. I have this blush from Yensa Beauty. I was actually supposed to do like a sponsored video of them, but fun fact, I asked to try their products first and they ghosted me. So there is that, but I didn't really get to use this as much. I'm not going to, but I'm gonna go ahead and pass this to a better home. Then we have another beautiful highlighter from What's Up Beauty. This is the Serengeti highlighter, absolutely keeping. Okay, so in yesterday's video, I showed you guys me cleaning the drawers and reorganizing it. This time I'm gonna do a little different. This time I'm just gonna show you guys what before and after looks like because I have so much to go through, so much to organize. And I kind of want to surprise you guys with what I'm actually ended up keeping and what I'm decluttering because I have a big maybe pile and I want to surprise you guys at the end. So with that said, this is what my drawer looked like before. And this is after. So definitely looks a lot better than what it did. Still have a lot of products, but I definitely think it looks really good because we cleared a whole drawer. Like, look at that right there. We have a whole now empty little place right here to put new and upcoming like highlighters and blushes and everything throughout the next year. So let me kind of go over everything. Okay, so right here we have my bronzer section. This is the section that I least decluttered because I realized how much I really do like my bronzers. So I had 19 bronzers in total. I kept over 13 and I decluttered 6. So definitely not the best, but I just really, really, really like bronzer. And it's so hard for me to part from the ones right here because I'm still trying out the Juvia's Place one, but the rest I just really, really enjoy. So while I'm not the most proud of it, I ended up just keeping 13. I ended up putting the e.l.f. back in here because I really do like that bronzer. So this is where we are right now. I think 13 compared to 19 is still a lot better, but we'll see where we will be during the summer season. Moving on to my blush section. Now it's just condensed down to this drawer that you guys see right here. So this is just my little blush section right here. Definitely a lot smaller than what it once was. So in total, y'all, I had 60 blushes. 60 blushes. Now I kept 33, but I decluttered 27. So for me, that is an amazing, amazing balance. We pretty much have a 50-50 on our hands right there. I kept just a couple more than I decluttered, but I'm very happy with myself that I decluttered 27 blushes and I kept 33. And I will say, I'm proud of myself because like typically I wouldn't let go of like certain brands, but I did let go of a Blend Bunny. I let go of a Glam Light. I let go of like my Odin eyes. Like I'm very proud of myself for letting go of some items. So right here I just have my Mora brushes followed by Odin's. We do have some of those cream blushes from Betty. We do have my powder blushes and some more cream. I did keep the Jaclyn and the Jean-Luc. I still want to keep playing with those ones. But yeah, going from 60 blushes down to 33, I'm very, very, very happy with. And then moving on to highlighters. Y'all, highlighters, I kind of went hard in. So here I have more of like my face palettes right back there. Those are like my bigger highlights that could go right over here in this section, but I just kind of prefer them back there because I really, really like how they look. So in total, I had over 72 highlighters. 72 highlighters. I ended up keeping 40 and I decluttered 32. So for me, that's still an amazing balance. Almost a 50% of my highlighter collection did get decluttered, which I'm super happy about. That just looks so freaking gross. I'm so sorry. I don't know why it looks like that, but it does. But anywho, that's just how it looks. But I'm very proud of the fact that we had 72 highlighters and I condensed it down to over 40 highlighters and I got rid of 32. So right here I just kind of have like my overall highlighters. I'm very proud of myself for decluttering as much as I did. I have my What's Up Beauty, I have my Glam Light, my Jaclyn, my Milk Makeup, Artitude Cosmetica, then we have Rare Beauty, we have my ColourPop, we have Benefit, we have Dior, Michaela, X Glam Light, we have the ABH, 1 Odin, 3 Kaleidos, we have 2 the Jaclyn Liquid, we have the Fenty, and my 2 Glam Light. Then I have an empty drawer right here. Like, look at that. I have not seen an empty drawer in this collection in a long, long time. So while it definitely still looks a little cluttered, oh my gosh, I feel like it looks so much better than what it once did. And this is everything that I am decluttering. I am very, very, very proud with myself. I thought this was going to be pretty hard, but I went for it, y'all. So that wraps up my bronzer, blush, and highlighter declutter. All right, guys. So here is my brows, mascaras, eyeliners, and all my loose pigments right over here. Typically this drawer does stay pretty well organized because I don't go through this drawer as often, but I definitely need to go through and get rid of mascaras. I love mascaras. I like trying all these new different mascaras. That's why I have a lot. Majority of these are open and they really shouldn't be because well, they dry out really quickly. So I'm going to kind of go through my brows, my mascaras, my eyeliners, and then all of my loose pigments right back here because I need to really kind of go through these and see what I want to keep and what I don't want to keep. And then we're going to go hit up this lipstick collection right here. Honestly, I think I might be getting rid of almost all of it. So let me go ahead and get the camera set up and let's get this started. So up first, we have my brow drawer right here. Now, I don't really have that many brow products because, well, I don't really try that many brow products, but I do a few. So I'm going to go ahead and kind of just quickly go through this. Up first, we do have my Wonder Beauty. This is going to be a clear brow gel. This thing is so bone dry. I absolutely love this, but it needs to go because it's seriously like it's old and it's dry and it's just not good anymore. I have my Winky Lux Universal Brow Pencil. I absolutely love this brow pencil. Absolutely fantastic brow pencil. So we're definitely going to hold on to this. I actually use these Jaclyn Cosmetics concealer specifically to carve out my brows. I think they're fantastic for that. So I'm going to hold on to these because they're really great for carving out brows, but that's literally the only thing I use them for. I really did like the Dominique Cosmetics brow pen, but my only thing is that these break so unbelievably easy. Like they were so easy to, these break so quickly. Like these were fun at first, but the way that these just keep breaking, I don't know. I think I'm going to keep one, but then declutter the other one that's not meant for me. Because honestly, as pretty as these are, they just break way too easily. And I don't like brow products that break that easily. This is a clear brow sculpt product. Absolutely hate this. Decluttering that. We have a clear brow sculpting product again from Dominique Cosmetics, and it's kind of dirty, but I really just don't use sculpting gel, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. Okay, so up next we do have the Benefit. This is the 24-hour brow setter. I absolutely do love the 24-hour brow setter. This is absolutely phenomenal, definitely keeping. We have the ABH Brow Wiz right here. I got this in a little advent calendar. I'm decluttering, I did not like it. And then I do have a Revlon eyeliner pencil. I'm not a fan. I'm decluttering. All right, then we have some more products right here. So up first, we have the ABH. This is the Brow Freeze. I keep it for whatever reason, probably to do funny videos with this, but honestly, I just don't use this product. It is just a horrible product. I hate it. I say it every time when I do this video. I say it every time I use it. So I'm gonna go ahead and finally just declutter this. I have 3 brow pomades right here because I absolutely do love the Benefit Brow Pomade. It's one of the 2 brow products that I use. I think this is incredible. So I'm going to definitely pass one along, but I'm going to go ahead and keep 2 because I'm actually going through mine, because this is mine right here. I'm getting actually towards the bottom. There isn't too much left. Like I use the crap out of this. So I'm going to go ahead and replace the old one with a new one, give away one, and keep one as a backup. We have the Benefit Goof Proof. This is a powder brow product. Absolutely fantastic product. Definitely going to use this. And then finally, I have a restock on my Benefit Gimme Brow Vibra Gel. This is an absolutely fantastic brow product. I'm going to finally end up using this. Moving on to mascara. So we have my absolute favorite mascara from Ofer Cosmetics, but this one right here, there's like nothing left. This is super, super dry. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this mascara. We have another Ofer Cosmetics, but this is the waterproof version of my favorite HD volumizing mascara, and this is a full one, so I'm going to keep. We have the Revlon So Big Fierce Bad Lash. I did try this out. It's not a bad mascara, but I just don't really care for chunky wands like this, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter. We have the e.l.f. Roller Lash right here. I love this for my lower lash line, so we're going to keep this. I was so obsessed with this Essence I Heart Extreme Crazy Volume Mascara. This, surprisingly enough, was a fantastic mascara. So good. Definitely sharp, but this thing is empty. Kind of dried out. It doesn't even shut all the way anymore. So we are going to go ahead and declutter this. I had the Smashbox Super Fan Mascara. I was not a super fan of this mascara. I just find that it was too wet, wasn't the best. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter. We have the Lancome Idol Mascara. I really wanted to love this mascara. It's good. But this is actually pretty old now. I say this is about a year and a half old. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter because I just don't show it enough love. We have my Lash Food. This is a conditioning collagen lash primer. Absolutely fantastic. But this is pretty much dried out at this point because I used so much of it. It's a fantastic product, but it's time that it goes. I just picked this up during the Ulta Black Friday sale. It's the Superhero waterproof mascara. It's not as good as I thought it was going to be personally, but I'm still trying this out. So we're going to hold on to this for now, but I'm not a big fan of it like I used to be. We have another Revlon mascara. This is the So Fierce Eyes Wide Open. This feels like Negan's bat from The Walking Dead. I'm not the biggest fan of this, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. I absolutely love this mascara from ColourPop. This is the BFF Level Up Mascara. This is absolutely fantastic. It does a great job at coating the lashes, lifting them, while at the same time adding volume. I am absolutely going to be keeping this one. We have the Benefit They're Real Magnet Mascara. This thing is so well loved, but she is so dried out because I pretty much used it until there's nothing left. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. I was so shocked when KVD reached out to send me this mascara. I got super excited for it. And then I tried this mascara and I was heavily disappointed in this mascara. It didn't really do anything to my lashes. It didn't really lift them, separate them. Was not a fan. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this one. The Hourglass Unlocked Mascara. I really don't have much to say about this other than it's just not wowing to me. There's nothing about it that stood out. I never reach for this. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. We have the Winky Lux So Extra Mascara. Again, there's nothing about this mascara that generally stood out to me. I don't ever reach for it, so I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. Just got this Rare Beauty mascara from Betty Jean. So I haven't had a chance to play with this yet. So I'm gonna go ahead and try this out, see how I like it. So this one we are definitely keeping. And then lastly, I got the Benefit. This is the Fan Fest mascara. This is one of the first Benefit mascaras that I generally was not a fan of. I'm usually such a big, massive Benefit fan when it comes to their mascaras, but there's something about this one that just did not stand out to me. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. We have a little Winky Lux. This is the Unibrow Brow Pencil. This is my absolute favorite from Winky Lux, so I'm definitely going to hold on to this. I got a replacement of their Real Magnet Mascara from Benefit. Definitely we're going to replace my decluttered one. And I got a Watch Me What's Up Beauty Mascara. I haven't tried this yet, so we're going to hold on to this to try. Wow, I went hard with the mascaras. I pretty much decluttered almost my entire mascara collection. I'm excited about that one. Okay, so I'm just going to quickly go over this. This is my eye pencils from ColourPop. These are absolutely phenomenal. I use these on a daily basis. Now, I may not use every single color, but I do use these. And whenever I come across a pen that is, whenever I come across a gel liner that is dried out, I just throw it away because they're so inexpensive. But I love having this range of colors for me to choose from when it comes to my eye looks. So I'm not departing with anything from here. I am keeping these. So I just wanted to show them to you guys because these are so freaking pretty, so inexpensive, and some of the best cream gel liners that are out there. I'm obsessed. Right here we have my Makeup Murderer. This is their loose pigments. These go such a long way. They're pretty expensive for what they are, but these are going to last you a lifetime. Like seriously, it's just a loose powder pigment. I don't know if these go bad. I'm sure at some point they do, but they still work beautifully. They still perform beautifully. So I am going to keep all these. I'm not going to declutter from any of these ones, but I just want to show you guys this so that when you see my collection a little bit, you'll see that like this is here and I didn't declutter it. Up next, we have some loose pigments right here. So I'm going to go ahead, and these ones right here from Ofra, these are their eyeshadow toppers. These are super, super, super pretty, but honestly, they don't get enough love the way they deserve because I just don't go for necessarily eyeshadow toppers by itself. I do like to have a little bit more pigment. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter all four of these. Okay, so here are my other loose pigments. So I do have these little individual shadows right here. We have right here, super, super, super pretty. I do actually kind of reach for this on my off days, but honestly, I did reach for this a lot when I first got it, but I don't really go for it that much anymore because it is a loose pigment that also doesn't have like a place in my collection because I don't really like having something just like out like this. So I'm actually going to go ahead and pass this on to somebody who I know has been dying to try this brand, but it's a really, really pretty single shadow. It's just I like to have all my shadows in one thing. I don't really just like having like loose shadows like individually like this. So I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. Same thing with my two Davina Cosmetics ones right here. I'm gonna go ahead and pass these along because I know somebody out there who's gonna get a better use than I will. I don't really use these anymore. Same thing with these right here. These are all little tiny ones. I don't even know what brand this is, but these are all like individual shadows. I really don't know what brand this is. Let me see. Look like this, really pretty, but I just don't use them anymore. And this is the brand. I don't know, maybe it's the same brand. I'm not sure, but I have quite a few of them. Super pretty, but I know one of my good friends who has been eyeing this brand really wants to try them. So I'm just going to go ahead and pass along all these ones to my friend. We have a little Sugar Pill white pigment. This is the only white shadow that I find really, really, really works for me. So I'm going to keep this. So I do have these little Naked Cosmetics. These are loose pigments right here. These are so freaking pretty. I usually take these pigments with a little bit of glitter glue on top of a bronzer shade, stick it to my eye, and oh my God, it's the prettiest thing to work with. I love these so much. So we're going to be keeping all four of these. I'm keeping. Here I have a whole thing of Unearthly Cosmetics. These are their loose pigments. Now, my only thing with Unearthly Cosmetics is that when you open this, as beautiful as these are, I'm not kidding, these fairy dust, like literally, I don't even know if you can tell on camera. I open this up and glitter is just flying everywhere. These are absolutely gorgeous. I mean, like gorgeous, gorgeous, gorgeous shades. But if you get this anywhere, oh my God, does that glitter stick to everything. It's so pretty, so micro-fined, but I'm not kidding when I say the glitter sticks to everything. These are really difficult to work with. I have tons of glitter flying out right now. Really pretty, but I just feel like I'm not gonna ever really use these because these are so microfined, and right now I'm seeing tons and tons of glitter fly everywhere. So because of the fairy dust formula, I'm gonna go ahead and declutter every single one. These are absolutely beautiful. You guys can find these over on Unearthly Cosmetics website. These truly are such beautiful fairy dust pigments. They really, really are. I will give them that. But I can see it on camera. I don't know if you guys can tell. There's literally glitter flying everywhere. The second I open this, glitter just flies out. I can't handle the glitter dust flying everywhere. So I'm going to go ahead and just declutter this entire drawer right here. I have these ColourPop Super Shock eyeshadow sticks. I'm just not a fan of eyeshadow sticks personally. So for me, I know I'm not going to really use them. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter all three. Same thing with these Super Shock shadows. I used to be so obsessed with ColourPop Super Shock shadows. Like truly they were my most favorite thing to have. But after last year's declutter and realizing like seriously how beautiful these are, but how quick they are to dry out, really took me by surprise. So for me, as much as I love their ColourPop Super Shock formula, they're incredible. I know me, realistically, I'm not going to really use these much as often, and they dry out so quickly. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter all four that you guys see right here, just because as much as I love them and I'm a big Disney person, these are going to dry out because I'm not going to use them. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter these. I'm not a fan of glitterly obsessed products. I love ColourPop, but when they do their glitterly obsessed anything, I just don't like it. This is such a bitch to work with. It's annoying to clean up. It's annoying to put on. I never use these, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. This was Merit's Solo Shadow, and it's like a cream to powder formula. Oh my god, this is horrible. I absolutely hated this. This was not good. I just kept it for the video. I'm going to declutter this, but I'm going to wait to declutter it so I can show you guys this is the worst in 2023 because this product sucked so freaking bad. But yes, I'm decluttering. Okay, so up next we do have my Nikita Joy Cosmetics. These are my loose pigments right here. Now these are very similar to the fairy dust, but honestly they don't fly up the same way that Unearthly's does. But I will say I absolutely live for these pigments right here. These are so freaking good. And you can use these wet or dry and they last you such a long time. But the best part is not only do they have their loose pigments that, like I said, you guys can use wet or dry, but if you do wet, they're going to be more like, metallic, but they also just created a pressed version of their product as well. So here is another example. Now this is going to be like a nice wet version. Do you see this? Now watch this. Like, look at the difference. So freaking pretty. These are absolutely gorgeous. These are the same exact shade. Just one is going to be one's going to be a loose powder, one's going to be a pressed powder version. One's going to be loose powder and one's going to be a pressed pigmented version. Both are going to give you the same payoff. Both are absolutely beautiful. I absolutely love these. And if you guys wanted to, you guys can use code Allie, which will save you guys 15% off over at Nikita Joy Cosmetics website. And I will say these are all my loose pigments from them. I bought almost every single thing you see right here. They only sent me, I think, like 6 or 7 in PR. The rest I paid for myself. So these are all paid for by me. And I'm still going to hold on to these because I generally really do love these. So, and lastly in this drawer, I have a whole thing of eyeliners right here from Odin Eyes, but honestly I don't ever really touch this. It just sits at the very back. I forget that I have these, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and declutter these. Okay, so here we have my lip collection. These are my lip products are sitting over on my stand instead of my like everyday desk where I film. So I'm gonna kind of go through these. So first we do have all the Jaclyn Cosmetics liquid lips and lip products. I have every single one. As of right now, I'm not going to declutter any of these ones because, well, I still think her brand is going under, sadly, and I'm just not ready to part with these. I'm sure at some point in my life, I will definitely get rid of these shades, but as of right now, I'm going to keep these ones for sure. So this is going to be a keep. All right, now we have Miss Laura Lee Los Angeles. I absolutely love Laura Lee. I think these are really beautiful liquid lips and lip glosses. But I'm going to be honest with you guys, I haven't touched these in a hot minute. It has been quite some time. So as beautiful as these are right here, I actually do like her other lip products. Like she has like these lip glosses from Laura Lee Los Angeles. Now this is a beautiful gloss. Like this is my favorite. So this is a sparkling iris shade. I actually prefer this over like this. So this is really pretty. Great gloss formula, but honestly, I just don't really use these anymore, and I'm pretty sure that these end up having an expiration date to them. Same with my Jaclyn. I'm sure my Jaclyn eventually has an expiration date, but honestly, I just really don't gravitate towards this as much as I used to. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this entire drawer. Up next, I have my entire Ofra Cosmetics liquid lips and glosses in here. I absolutely do love Ofra Cosmetics, and I have pretty much their entire range of products right down over here. They were so kind enough a while back to give me like all of their versions of a red lip. But truthfully, there's one shade that stands out to me the most, and that's the shade Brickle or Brickell. I absolutely love this red liquid lip right here. So freaking pretty. And this is like the closest to the Aphrodite liquid lip that I have come across. So I am going to keep this shade right here. Everything else, I'm going to declutter because I haven't touched these in a long time. So, all right. So up next, we have just a random sort of stuff right here. So I have all four of like the ColourPop glosses with the Haunted Mansion collection. One just fell out. This was really fun to play with, but honestly, I don't really use these at all. So I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to declutter these ones as well. I really do like these two Michaela glosses from Glamlight, so I'll keep these two. I pulled back out of my pile these three from Ofra, and I have these three from Jeffree Star Cosmetics. These are very unique liquid lip shades. I'm only going to keep these for Halloween because I like doing like really fun lips for Halloween. Cute collection from Glamlight, but does not get a lot of love, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter. I have all my lip liners and liquid lip and lip glosses from Jean-Luc Cosmetics. I'm still kind of playing around with these, so I'll hold on to this for now because I'm still testing these out. Great formula from this brand. Really took me by surprise. They just dropped some brand new juicy lip oils, which I just got in PR. So I'm going to keep testing these out. But if I don't play with these enough in 6 months, then we're going to go ahead and declutter them. All right, so now we have this drawer. I have these two glosses from Fenty Beauty. These have not been opened yet. We have Fussy and Diamond. I'll keep these. We have a super nude moment from Charlotte Tilbury. I swatched this, but I haven't played with this. But knowing me, I'm probably not going to. I'm just not really the biggest fan of lipsticks, if I'm going to be real with you guys. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. Really pretty Givenchy lipstick, but again, I'm not a lipstick person. I want to be, but I'm just not. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter. I have this little lipstick from Winky Lux. It's a little lip balm. It's cool. It has like a flower in it, but I don't use it, so declutter. We have the Jouer. This is a essential lip enhancer. Really nice formula, but I don't use it enough, so declutter. We have a Juicy Tube from Lancome. This is such a beautiful moment, but it has been such a hot minute since I've used this. It's really pretty, but I don't use this enough, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. This is unopened from Sephora. I don't even know if they make this anymore. It's a really beautiful color. A super dupe to the L'Oreal Color Rich Lip Gloss. They don't make this anymore. This has been discontinued since at least like 2018, 2019. This was my only one that I haven't played with yet. I have not even used it. So this is, I would definitely say at least like 5 years old. I'm going to put this, I think, in a shadow box because I don't know if I'm going to use it ever. I feel like I'm kind of past this stage with this lip gloss now. This was my go-to for years when I worked at Disney, but I've never used it and I don't want it to go to waste. So I would just put this in a shadow box. And then this I'm going to go ahead and declutter. I'll see if my friend wants it, but I've also had it for just as long, if not longer. I don't know if it's still good. Beautiful lipsticks from Pure X Barbie, but again, I never really use these products. So while it's really pretty, I'm gonna declutter. I'm gonna go put this in on my nightstand because I need new chapstick and you can never go wrong with chapstick. All right, we have this Fenty Beauty. This is the MVP Savage Liquid Lip. Y'all, this smells like stinky fish. It smells like stinky fish. Why? It smells disgusting. Every single lip product I've gotten from Fenty Beauty that's like a red pigmented color ends up smelling like fish. I don't know what is going on with this. I got this literally, less than a year ago. I got this during the Super Bowl event last year, so like last February. So it's not even a year old, and this smells like freaking fish. It is disgusting. So I'm gonna declutter this. I'm so over my Fenty Beauty products smelling like fish, and I don't know why. We have this beautiful red lip from Hank and Henry, but again, I just don't really use these. As gorgeous as it is, I have to let it go. I bought this Pat McGrath red lipstick because this is the Taylor Swift. This is the one that Taylor Swift wears on tour. It's the Elson 4. It's supposed to be like this really pretty red. I'm going to keep this for now. It's not the red that I want it to be, but maybe I just got to pair it with the right lip liner, but I'm going to keep this one for now. So this is a keep. We have the Natasha Denona I Need a Nude. This is a really pretty red lipstick right here. It's not the biggest fan of lipsticks. I really do like this color, so I'm going to keep this one. We have this Dragon Beauty from Nikita. This is a really pretty red, but again, this is actually like, oh my God, I don't know how old this is. Before COVID, and I never really use this red. As much as I think it's really pretty, I think I'm gonna let it go. I don't have that many black liquid lips in my collection, so I'm gonna go ahead and hold on to this one because I think I only have like 2 or 3 in total, and this actually dries down really matte, so I do like this. So I'm gonna hold on to this one. We have Glam Lights. This is the Red Velvet liquid lip. You guys know that I have a soft spot for red. But this is also pretty old and it's just not the exact red that I want. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this. I have a black and a purple liquid lip from NARS. I really do like these two, so I'll keep these ones. We have the one size. I got this last year because I saw that this was supposed to be like, I got this past year because I thought this would be really pretty. The red's really pretty, but then it dries down to like this really like light fire engine red. And I like more of a blood red. And then it comes with like a little sparkle side to this. This little sparkle side, such a disappointment. So I'm going to go ahead and declutter this as well. Then I have a NYX liquid lip moment. It's like a suede, but this is just too light red for me. It's not what I'm exactly looking for, and I don't really use it that often, so I'm going to go ahead and let this go. Okay, next we have this little drawer right here. I do have all of Angelica's collaboration with Odin Eyes. I don't really use this type of formula, so I'm actually going to put this into a shadow box because she's my friend and I want to hold on to her collection, but I know realistically I'm not going to really use these, so I'm going to put these in a shadow box. We have this amazing Just One Bite Apple Lip Scrub, but I have my Laneige ones now, so the smell is incredible, but I'm going to go ahead and declutter. My Patrick Ta lip scrub right here. Don't really use it that much anymore, so I'm going to go ahead and declutter. And then the infamous Jacqueline lipsticks. Y'all, I'm never going to use these, but these are definitely like a throwback and like a little bit like of a, I don't want to say collector's piece because like it's not a collector's piece, but they're just going to go into my shadow box from now on because I'm no longer going to use these, but I'm going to put these in my shadow box. All these lipsticks from Fantasy Cosmetica. I actually do like this formula, so I'm going to save these for now, but if I don't use them enough in the next 6 months, then we're going to go ahead and declutter these ones. 2 lip glosses from Tower 28. I just got these for my Sephora, keeping. This is my backup for CoverGirl. This is my backup for the CoverGirl Clean Yummy Gloss. Gonna keep this. And then we do this Rare Beauty. This is a really weird lip formula. I don't really know how I feel about this, honestly. It felt very weird on the lips. I'm not really a fan, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and just declutter this one. I'm just gonna quickly go through my everyday lip drawer. So I have all of my lip liners right here. These are like my neutral lip liners. Can you guys tell which one this is? This is the shade Bourbon from Jacqueline Cosmetics. This is my absolute favorite. And I'm so scared that the brand's going under because if so, I have got to stock up on this. But I went live last night for YouTube and everybody told me that this shade is sold out. And I'm just like, no, please don't be sold out. So I'm not decluttering any of my liners, my lip liners, because I actually do use these ones. So I'm going to keep this. And then we do have a gloss with Heather Austin and Unearthly, but I'm going to go ahead and put this into my shadow box as well. Just I generally don't really use this gloss. It's really pretty, but I just don't want to like lose this because it's a special collab with my friend Heather and I want to hold on to this. So I'm going to put this in a shadow box. So here's a gloss from Ofra. This is the Truffle Gloss. This is so used and pretty much empty, so we're going to go ahead and toss that. This is another one. This is another truffle lip gloss right here. This is a really pretty lip gloss. Now that I have my Koa gloss, I kind of don't need this. So I'll still keep this one. We have my 3 Laura lip glosses right here, but the only shade that I use is this one. Is that one. The rest too I don't really use. So we're going to go ahead and toss. This is a really, really pretty Fenty gloss. I'm going to go ahead and put this in my bag, along with a little mini of the Gloss Bomb right here, along with this little mini one right here. I'm gonna put these two in my purse because I like to have lip glosses on me at all time. So I'm actually gonna put these in my purse. We have the Almay lipstick. This is in the shade Go Wild. This has been my absolute favorite lipstick. The only one I really do love. So I'm gonna actually still keep this one because I still love this gloss. I still love that lipstick, along with the combo of the Maybelline gloss right here. This is such a fantastic gloss. Gonna keep this. This is a beautiful lipstick from Revlon, but I do pair it with a gloss. I cannot wear it otherwise, but it is really pretty, so I'm going to keep this one. I just got this for my Sephora sale. This is a YSL like candy bomb moment. I'm going to keep this. And then we do have the Merit. This is a really pretty like lip oil that they have going on. I'm going to keep this because it's a really, really, really pretty shade. I like this. So I have all my Jaclyn Cosmetics lip oils. I have 2 of these NYX lip oils too. I really, really like these lip oils. So I'm going to go ahead and keep all of this right here. Although some of them you can tell are more well loved than others. Like this one right here. It's really pretty, but you could tell you could tell that I did love this one. So we're going to go ahead and put this away. I have my Blend Bunny Cosmetics and some Fenty glosses right here. Going to keep these. And then these are all my colorful red lip liners and black lip liners. I'm keeping these ones. I have my 2 Lunar Beauty lip drawers holding onto these. We have my Lunar Beauty lipsticks and lip liners. Still not ready to part with these ones yet. I do like the shade called Cocoa, mixing it with the Cocoa lip liner, but then I put a gloss on top. It's really pretty, but I may declutter these in the future. All right, so we have another Jaclyn lip oil right here. This needs to get moved to a different section. I think it's because I ran out of space. So we have this one. We have another Lunar Beauty lip gloss. Again, I ran out of space, so I have to reorganize this. I'm not kidding when I say I have my CoverGirl lip glosses all over. I have 3 in my purse, 1 on my nightstand, 2 in here, 1 on my actual like editing desk. I'm obsessed with their lip glosses. These are probably some of my favorite lip glosses that have come out this past year. Is their clean, yummy glosses. These are so freaking good. I love every single color. You can't go wrong with any color. I think my favorite one is this one right here. This is the strawberry. It's a nice little red tint. This is beautiful to wear when you are doing no makeup on your face, but you just want to have your lips have a little bit of a tint. This is absolutely perfect. But I really do love my clean, yummy glosses. I have the orange, I have the purple, I have all the different pinks. I'm obsessed with these. I have an Ofra gloss, right? We have an Ofra lipstick and Hot Mess Mama. I'm gonna go ahead and declutter this. I did create a beautiful gloss to go with that called Butterfly Kisses, but I just don't use this enough. I kind of prefer mine. Sorry. This candy lip balm is so freaking beautiful. I love the way that this looks. I will say this tastes absolutely disgusting, so don't eat it, but I'm gonna keep it. And then I do have my 2 Lunar Beauty and Laura Lee collabs lipsticks right here, but I'm gonna go ahead and toss these. I'm never gonna use them, and they're too pale for me. All right, so we just have my Makeup by Mario, my Blend Bunny, my Tarte Maracuja Lip Moments, my Dior Lip Oil, and Too Faced. I'm not going to declutter anything from this drawer, so I'm going to go ahead and hold on to this. So that is everything we are decluttering so far. Let me go ahead and reorganize this. I'm going to tell you guys what I kept from each category, what I decluttered, and we're going to see, did I get rid of almost 50% of my collection, or did I keep more than I decluttered? I'm pretty sure I got rid of more lips than anything else, which I'm really excited about because I'm down to just pretty much 2 drawers, and I love it. Okay guys, remember what my drawer looked like before? And this is after. Oh my gosh, guys, this is definitely a big difference. Definitely a huge difference. Now, I'm not gonna lie, I kind of forgot to count each item, so we're just gonna kind of ignore the count on this one, but I'm pretty sure I got rid of a lot of stuff. Like, I barely have any brow products left. I have only 1 row of mascara when I used to have this whole thing filled, so just 1 row of mascara. I didn't declutter any lip liners, and I didn't declutter any of the Nikkia Joy cosmetics, but now we have 2 open bins right back there, and everything just kind of fits right over here because I did declutter all of my like Divina Cosmetics, Unearthly Cosmetics, and other single shadows from other brands. So legit, this is how the drawer looks like now. I think it looks so much better than what it did. Definitely a lot emptier, and I'm very, very proud because I got rid of so much stuff. Like, it may not look like it, but like legit, I did, and I'm very, very proud of that. Remember how this looked like before? And this is after. This is all I have left. I was able to get rid of an entire container, and I just put the container in my closet because I'm sure at some point it will fill back up again. I got these at TJ Maxx, just so you guys know this is all at TJ Maxx, but I do have all of my Jaclyn Cosmetics liquid lips, glosses, and lip pigments right here, and then I just have all the extras that I did keep, like my John Luke Cosmetics, my Jeffree Star, and my Fantasy Cosmetics, and a little bit of like Natasha Denona and NARS and Dragon Beauty, and then I just have my perfumes right over there. So definitely looks so much better than what it did before. It was really cluttered, and now it just looks really organized. So let me show you guys what I am decluttering. So this is my declutter pile right here. I am very, 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 very proud of myself. I got rid of a lot of lip products, and typically I love lips. They're my favorite part of my makeup routine, and I'm very surprised I was able to just declutter as much as I did. I just kind of went for it. I got rid of Laura Lee Los Angeles, which I never would have done. I got rid of my Ofra stuff. I got rid of ColourPop. I got rid of Lamplight, NARS, Hank and Henry, Pure Cosmetics. I got rid of so much. I did not hold back this time, and I'm very, very, very proud of myself for doing so. So this is officially my declutter pile. I'm very proud with how this collection is turning out. I'm very proud with how everything is looking. Alrighty guys, so that is it for my declutter. With that said guys, that is it for today's video guys. If you guys enjoyed today's video, please make sure you guys give this video a cheeky thumbs up. Don't forget to subscribe to my channel if you guys have not already. I do post 4 to 5 videos every single week. Make sure you guys head over to my other channel. It's R for the Life. You guys get to see my cool, wonderful ventures, my amazing husband, Corey. And as always, the biggest thank you goes to these beautiful, wonderful page members you guys see right here. Thank you guys so much for everything. And to my subscribers and viewers, thank you guys so much for being here. Whether you guys like this video, you guys thumbs down this video, you guys subscribed, you guys did not subscribe. Either way, thank you guys so much for being here. I love and appreciate each and every single one of you. So with that said, guys, I love you, and I'll see you guys tomorrow. Bye!